of the Utah Jazz as Minnesota and Utah went at it last night in Salt Lake City. 32 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, but who cares about the stat line? It was all about that dunk.
Yeah, that if you haven't seen it, folks, just find the video, and it's easy to find. But that is one of the most vicious, like, posterizations that you could ever see. I mean, poor John Collins. Like Edwards has some incredible hops. And, like, he
put that on display, didn't he?
He just kept going up. And as he said he didn't even think he was going to be able to dunk it because he was so far away from the rim.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just that's unbelievable. Like, that's one of the great ones you will ever possibly see. It doesn't get much better than that.
I knew he had a terrific vertical. I didn't think he could do things like that. Now, people are trying to I heard a national show, they're trying to discredit it, saying, well, it wasn't really a full dunk. He kind of like just threw it down. Well, that's what dunking is throwing it down. That was a dunk. It was in Collins' face. We'll see that forever. That was one of the great dunks you'll ever see. But the one you talked about, him like rising, soaring, there's not too many players that can do that. John Morant is one of them, and maybe the best. I don't think I've ever seen a player like continue to elevate vertically, like going up and then continuing to go up and rise like John Morant. But that was pretty comparable with what we saw last night. There was also that vicious dunk from, was it Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson got Austin Reeves pretty good, but he picked a bad night to do it. His would have been great on a normal night. However, social media was caught up in Anthony Edwards. Jalen Johnson didn't have a chance. Like, his happened second. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, no, you got no chance of doing this. Do that tonight would have been a huge deal. Last night, not so much.
Yeah, I watched a little early portion of that game and then hit the sack, as I said early, but the Lakers went on to win that game 136-105. LeBron caught fire in the second half, put up a double-double. But, yeah, Austin Reeves is probably very happy with Anthony Edwards because being dunked on by Jalen Johnson would have been the highlight of the night in the NBA if it wasn't for what Anthony Edwards did to John Collins. All right, we're just getting underway here on this Tuesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. As I mentioned yesterday, there was the news of Simmons Bank, Liberty Stadium. We have more definitive answers on what's going on as far as the renovations are concerned. We'll go over some of those details. I know it came out yesterday afternoon, but well past our show wrapping up at 10 a.m. So we want to talk about that, and we'll do so more. And we'll do more so with Jeff Crane when he joins us. But interesting comments being made by folks who are directly affected by what's going to happen at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. We'll talk about that. We got some NFL news, some Major League Baseball news, and as I mentioned to start the show, a plethora of terrific guests here coming up on the program. We also have the open segment coming up in our next segment. So if you want to call in, you want to text in on anything that's going on in the world of sports, including the start of the NCAA tournament with the first 2 of the first 4 games tonight in Dayton, Ohio, you can do so on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. One of our terrific sponsors is Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. They have been with us for I don't know how many years now. Locally owned and operated company. And again, it's your choice. Do whatever you want, right? But I suggest if you can go local companies for whatever it is that you may need, you know, it helps benefit the local economy when you keep it local. And they are a locally owned and operated company. For all your roofing and home repair needs, call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. If you think you can't afford a new roof or fixing of the roof, right? Renovations of that roof, you can't afford not to. You have to take care of it. And what they do is they provide financing, different plans and options to suit your budget. 6, 12, 18 months, same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes to get that new roof or that roof repaired. They are part of the Roofs for Troops program. Any veteran, active, or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. They do residential and commercial roofing. So not only for homeowners, but business owners and property managers. If you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. Don't forget about the $100 referral fee for all new roofs. So you know somebody who needs a new roof, you refer them to Pinnacle. They use Pinnacle, you get $100 for that referral. They do work around the home like carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. They can install shingles. Brandon's a certified shingle installer. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Again, a 5-year labor warranty on a purchase of a new roof, and all their work is satisfaction guaranteed. Call Brandon at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is coming to Genesis Diamonds. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. These are carefully chosen timepieces in pristine condition. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a beautiful pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $4,000 value. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of our special financing and get a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. It's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Poplar and Perkins Extended. While supplies last, see store for details.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Benstorff Realtors. How funny that I received an email about a year and a half ago from a pilot who told me how corny my radio ads were. I told him I agreed. After following up for almost a year, I ended up selling his house. And this was the note I just received from him. Sheldon went far beyond what any agent should normally have to do to get your house sold. From the first contract falling through on the day of closing, to the utilities being shut off when we were living 1,500 miles away, to dealing with a very inexperienced buyer's agent. He handled it all and got our house sold for a great price. Sheldon has a special purpose in life, and it is getting your house bought or sold in a very professional manner. Thanks, Tim. So if you or someone you know is thinking of selling their home, remember, when you want the job done, call Sheldon. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546.
Hello, Memphians. Wake up each and every Tuesday morning weekly to Cup Club Early Morning Show. Cup Club Early Morning Show each and every Tuesday morning weekly 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on AM 56. Hosted by former Arkansas State Red Wolves Hall of Fame fullback Ricky Jemison. Enjoy special guest interviews, top sports local, nationally, and Monsters Game Pro Football League updates. Cup Club Early Morning Show right here on AM 56.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning Warning, and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been rough trying to get up through the Midtown area on a couple of earlier wrecks, one north and southbound on 240 around Norris. Still some flashing lights over there behind a truck on 240 eastbound up by Walnut Grove. It's heavy out here where you would expect this time of the morning, 40 west as you travel between, let's say, Germantown Parkway and Witten Road. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:27 the time. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Tuesday morning. So yesterday, interesting day, busy day, and a lot that Laird Veach, the athletics director of the University of Memphis, had to address as he had a presser and talked about the renovations to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, which we'll get to in just a second, as we have the second, I don't want to call it phase because they talk about phases in the renovation of the stadium, but the second plan, I guess it would be, for what they're going to do. But Laird also addressed some other topics, including the University of Memphis men's basketball team and Penny Hardaway declining the invitation to the NIT. And Laird basically said that he had spoken to Penny and that he was on the same page with him, that he supported his decision. And so, no big deal, nothing to see here. Our friend Tim Buckley from the Daily Memphian, it's interesting, he wrote about it, and in his story, he also addressed what Tom Crean had to say, the former college basketball head coach who kind of ripped into the schools that passed up on the NIT. Although somebody had tweeted out, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but somebody had tweeted out, a journalist, that one time at Indiana, Tom Crean said thanks but no thanks to an NIT invitation. He had a reason, but they said no to it. But anyway, Tim said that one of the things Penny said was, I'm not disrespecting the NIT. It's just been a tough season. And so Tim points out, well, declining to participate is kind of disrespecting a once venerable event that was the NCAA's crown jewel basketball championship before the big dance overtook it. It may have been, and it was once. It is no longer. And the fact that it's not even in New York at Madison Square Garden, I think, has lost some of its luster. But that's not the reason, because it lost some of its luster, that Memphis has said no to it. Memphis has said no to it because I understand where Penny's coming from, that this is beneath us, that we need to be in the NCAA tournament, and we failed to be in the NCAA tournament. So we're going to lick our wounds and move on. I still have no problem with that. Again, apparently Laird doesn't either.
Yeah, again, whatever. Coaches and teams can do whatever they play in, whatever tournaments they choose to play in, all that stuff. It is. It is without doubt a disrespect to the tournament. Saying you don't want to play in a tournament is going to be a disrespect. It doesn't. You can say no disrespect all you want, but that you're basically telling a tournament that you're not good enough for us to play in. that's going to be disrespectful to that tournament.
Anytime that you're invited to anything, if you don't have an obvious excuse, I'm sick or whatever, I can't go to your party, and you just say flat out no, it's sort of a act of disrespect. Right? I mean, you're a friend of somebody, they invite you to this, and
you're
disrespecting them if you don't go unless you have a reason.
You're telling the NIT, we're better than you.
Yes.
So, that is going to be disrespectful. Yeah, but
I have no problem with that.
I don't care, but I mean, there's no defending no, we're not being disrespectful. Well, you are, because you're saying we're just better than you guys. We're not going to lower ourselves to your level.
I have no problem with, again, Coach saying that, and he didn't say that in these words, but yeah, we have higher standards. We didn't reach those standards. So we're moving on. We're going to start to prepare for next season. He knows how important that season will be next year. And plus the fact that they wouldn't be able to host the first couple of rounds, even if they advance, who knows if they'd get a home game, because after the Grizzlies trip, they'll be back home. So I'm not even sure. I don't think it's a big deal. I think people have made it a big deal. Tom Crean certainly made it a big deal. Richard is dialed in on that topic. Richard, how are you?
What's up, Greg?
How are you?
I'm great. What's up, Eli?
What's happening, man? It's been a long time.
You got it every day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been listening to this joke about my university right now as far as the basketball team goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When he doesn't get this invitation next year to the NCAA, what is he going to do? Decline the NIT again?
Maybe.
Yeah, what does he have? One incoming freshman? Sign one freshman?
One.
Okay, so on this cloud, what is he building his team on next year? That's what I want to know.
It's going to be another portal team.
Okay. That's the first problem. He does not have a foundation for a sustainable basketball team right now. So everything right now, he can blame the players, the fans, the city. Everything is on him. You're going out here getting these 40-year-old players, and you want to coach them. You had problems coaching teenagers. And I'm just trying to figure out, where are we headed as a basketball program?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. Where is the University of Memphis headed? I remember the great days when everybody that coached here, except for Tick Price probably, had an opportunity to go to the NCAA. Tick went to the NIT. But right now, we're in an influx. We can't get local talent. We can't get high school talent. That's how you build a basketball team, coach. You keep going getting these older players, as I keep saying, and we are not going to go anywhere with these older players. They come in with attitude. Everything is about them in this NIL money. I don't care how you put a bow on it. It's going to be a rip in the locker room every year, which it has been. We've had turmoil in the locker room for 6 straight years. About the same time of the season every year, we are breaking up. Players don't like players, and lack of discipline and lack of leadership. We've had a turnover at the coaching position, the second man in charge, the first assistant. We don't have any continuity, Greg, and that's how we're going to build, but it's not going to happen. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet. That concession stand is always open and it sells hot dogs. And Larry Fitzmagic is one.
All right, Richard. Thank you so much. Don't be a stranger.
Have a nice day.
All right, brother. Take
Thanks,
care.
Richard.
Haven't heard from Richard in a long time, but it's always good to hear his perspective. He has an interesting perspective. Next up is
not always
Greg.
Here,
not always, but it's been a while. Hey, Greg, how are you?
Good morning. I was listening to the last comments, and I just want to say, Penn is no different than Rick Pitino or any other school that didn't meet their goals this year. They're feeling pretty bad about it, and they really ready to turn the page. As far as next year goes, I'm not going to even try to look that far into the future as far as what the Tigers may or may not do. We're living in a time that a lot of coaches got the same problem. Penny's he's no different from a lot of these schools and a lot of these coaches that's got the same problem that he's got. And I just want to see how it comes out next year. I still feel that Penny has his hands in a lot of what went wrong with the school and the basketball program this year. But then some things were out of his hands, and I believe that. I'll stand on that. Malcolm Dandridge would have made a difference, and we don't know what happened with that. So we'll just leave it at that. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you listening. All right.
Again, it is a different world now as far as roster construction and roster management goes in all of college sports. I understand Richard's point, but it is, I mean, the chimes have changed. But yes, I've said all along, like, I do believe you have to have some guys who have been a part of your program. So going out and getting an entirely new roster essentially every year, I don't believe is a good way to go about it. The problem is you bring in freshmen, unless they're really good, like the ones he does bring in, they don't play, and then they leave because they want to play. and they could see, they're like, oh, well, next year will probably be an entirely new group of transfers that are going to play in front of me as well. So it is a tough way to go about it doing that, and it needs to be a blend. There needs to be a blend of recruiting high school kids that come in, they play, that stay for 2-3 years, and then you fill in the holes, to me, with the transfers. That's not the way they're going about it right now. He's basically going, I'm just going to have a full new roster essentially every year of transfers.
I don't think there's one single answer to the makeup of a roster. And I don't mind that he goes out searching for top talent. But you're right. I think it has to be a mixture. Going back to Richard's point, certainly you have to develop some young players that want to stay. Now, the question is, will they stay in this day and age? You're not going to promise anything to a kid that comes in unless he's Derrick Rose. So you got some young guys. Are they willing to stay and wait their turn? Or are they going to transfer the next year? Are they going to jump right back into the portal? I think it's got to be a nice combination, but it has to be the right players. Kendrick Davis and that guy's attitude, what he wanted to do, I mean, it was off the chart. This is not the same as, unfortunately, Javon Quinterly and Jaquan Walton and some of the guys they had this year. So it's up to that staff, Penny and his assistant coaches, to find those players that make sense, where the chemistry is going to be there. They're certainly looking at their futures, but it's team first. Antonio Anderson, if you missed the interview we had with him yesterday, go back and listen. Go to our website, sportsmemphis.com. Listen to the podcast or featured audio, and we have that interview. We're going to have some other. Jeremy Hunt's going to join us this week. He had some interesting things to say about Memphis talent. Josh Pastner is going to be on today. Again, just getting some thoughts of different people about where Memphis stands. Again, it's been 10 years now with just 2 tournament appearances and 1 tournament win.
Jeffrey on Twitter, talking about the NIT thing, says NIT is getting what they deserve. They disrespected all the smaller conference champions by saying, nah, we're good. We'll just invite a bunch of crappy P6 teams.
That was a mistake. I don't know why they did that, but that was I bet you they go back and they change it back for next year.
Yeah, I mean, to me, as I said, I would have kept that rule. I would love to see the NIT be basically all of mid-majors and teams like that have good years, certainly by their standard, but just aren't, because of where the conference they play in and the schedule they play, they're just not able to make the NCAA tournament. Because I think those teams, those players, those coaches, like, it's a reward for their season. Finishing 8th or 9th in a conference, not achieving what your goal was at the beginning of the year, I don't think the players, coaches, and certainly the fans don't really care to watch their team play in the NIT. So reward the teams that it might mean something to.
Yes, and I understand why we have conference tournaments. It's a second chance for everybody in the country. We love the system. Maybe Greg Sankey will break it up, but we love what's going on in college basketball. That's why they don't need to tweak it too much. But with the NIT's decision, it took away rewarding teams that went 31 games, whatever it is they play in conference and their non-conference schedule, but the conference is the most important part of the schedule, and finish first all season. Starting conference play, December, January, February, March. You're the regular season champions. And you get beat in the conference tournament on a crazy last-second shot, or you're missing a player, or you get into foul trouble because these officials go crazy blowing their whistles, and your season comes to an abrupt halt. All those months of what you did because of a bad little run or a bad little game or a bad few minutes, and you're not rewarded with a trip to the NIT because you're not going to get into the NCAA tournament because your league's not getting 2 bids. That's a shame. But I don't want to change it and give the regular, even though it is technically the option of the conference to put in their regular season champion or their conference tournament champion. I'm not sure if that's every league, but I know a lot of leagues have that option. But they normally go with the conference tournament champion. And I understand why we have that. Again, I just went over that. But you got to reward the regular season champions. The NIT needs to do an about-face on that.
Raider Corey Texans, as a longtime fan of the school, I truly believe this should be Penny's final year, but this current administration do not want to be the ones making that tough decision. It really sucks to watch my school decline like this. What hope do we have for next season? Well, the thing is, you don't know what the roster is going to look like at all next season. So really the hope right now, is just you have to hope that they bring in a new roster that's better than this one.
No, it has to be in Penny you trust. That's the only thing you can do right now is trust that Penny.
But there's no reason to trust that.
Right. I mean, there's not a track record that says to trust them. Not this year. But you have to. That's all you have. That is all you have. All right.
By the way, and Drew texted on this, the Tom Crean thing, when they didn't go to the NIT, he was fired the next day. So yeah. I don't think that was probably not his choice.
Yeah, John Varlas just told me that he thought it was the AD's decision. Again, I said I wasn't sure about this, but I read that tweet from somebody, a journalist, I guess, that covers Indiana, that kind of poked the bear, Tom Crean, after what Tom Crean had said about schools saying no thank you to the NIT. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I appreciate that. All right, we'll take a timeout. Want to certainly shout out to our great first hour sponsor, East Memphis Ace Hardware.
That's right, East Memphis Ace Hardware, where you can find whatever it is you need to get those projects done around the house. They've got it for you and a great staff to help you find it. And maybe you don't even know for sure exactly what it is you need. Well, they got a staff that will help you figure out what you need, help you find it there in the store, get it at a great price always as well. Of course, the Big Green Egg and all the grills. They are a platinum dealer of the Big Green Egg, which that means they've got all the different eggs, all the egg accessories, including the sauces and rubs and all of that, everything you can find right there at East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner of White Station and Quince.
All right, we're going to talk about Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. We'll talk more about that at 8:25 with Jeff Crane, but we'll get into some of the details in case you missed it from yesterday and the big announcement. Also, a Major League Baseball signing of importance and an NFL signing this morning of importance as well. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Okay, so there are some rules about what someone can and cannot say on a commercial. For one thing, you have to tell the truth, something not everyone necessarily follows to the letter. And there are a couple of phrases we're absolutely not supposed to say. For example, this is March, and this is an ad for Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect bar. As you know, while Bell Tavern isn't a sports bar, there are always sports playing on the TVs. And in March, there is one particular basketball event that Memphians really love. But I can't say the name of it. I can say Madness, and I can say March, but I can't say, well, you get the idea. Anyway, if you want to enjoy the third month of the year craziness, Bell Tavern's the place.
Hey Mid-South, it's springtime, so let's celebrate with the Gossett Mitsubishi Motor Spring Sales Event. Time to go spring breaking with 43 MPG Highway. Do it right with 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for only $19,110 or $259 a month. Go your own way in style with 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $30,150 or $449 a month. Or hit the road in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE $36,165 or $399 $39.99 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Lodge RH 006614, MSRP 1916, Eclipse RZO 32749, MSRP 30650, Outlander RZO 12807, MSRP 36165. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Are you? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir. It's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together. Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rock and Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3's your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, but only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Do not combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506, Cross RC 23156, MSRP 38,998. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
All right, so yesterday we got a lot more clarity on what's happening at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium as far as the renovations are concerned. Memphis announcing that it's going to happen starting in May. It's a $220 million project, and they announced that they will move forward with the first 2 phases at an estimated cost of $195 million. Phase 1 includes the renovation of the existing East Side Suite Level 2 to accommodate moving the media and game day operations from their current West Side location to prepare for Phase 2. As well as other general upkeep, deferred maintenance, and site prep elements. Timeline and cost, May 2024 is when they'll start. So about 4 months after what was originally thought that they would start after the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game, with completion prior to this upcoming season. That cost is $8 to $10 million. I'm not going to go to all the details in Phase 2, but Phase 2, let's just say that that's the meat and potatoes, because you're talking about these beautiful seating options, the founder suites, the loge boxes, the additional private suites. That's supposed to be starting as early as they can in 2024 upon securing the necessary funds initially estimated to be the first $25 million of the matching funds needed to meet the Smith family's challenge pledge. So obviously they're going to give the Smith family $50 million. That has to be matched by Memphis. They're hoping to move on once they raise 25 to match the first 25 from Fred. Then there's that third phase, which is potential elements like locker room expansion, upgrades, any remaining perimeter, Halo concourse upgrades, and all that stuff. Anticipated start for that, again, upon securing the necessary funds. They're talking about May. Actually, that's not correct. I'm not sure exactly when they're talking about starting that, but the goal is to have the renovations all done for the 2026 season. So again, originally thought that maybe it'll be done for 2025. That was quickly out the window. It's going to affect the 24 and 25 seasons. Hopefully everything is completed by the 2026 season. So the next two seasons, 24 and 25, capacity is anticipated to be in the low 30,000s, 30,000 and change. The capacity after renovations are complete, an estimated 50,000. So it's about, 9,000 less than capacity now at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
I absolutely love the Party Plaza setup in this design. I think that is a great way to go. We've talked with Jeff Crane before, and we'll talk to him again today, obviously, but he's talked about, younger people want more places to kind of congregate rather than to sit and watch the game, and to, they've had those things in various places, mainly down in the end zones. Now to basically put that down the entire west side of the stadium, I think is absolutely awesome. I think that is a great idea. I think that will be a very popular place for people. I think that is really, really cool.
The Party Plaza is one of the new additions to this new plan, as opposed to what originally came out, as they had to tweak and do some things differently. So here's some information for ticket holders out there. Due to stadium construction, all West Side suites, a portion of East Side suites, the Stadium Club, and all non-chairback bleacher seats between sections 129 and 132 and 101 to 109 will be unavailable for the 24 and 25 football seasons. Chairback seats on the west side will not be impacted during the construction phase. Affected season ticket holders will go through a seat selection process this summer. More details to follow. But again, we're going to have Jeff Crane on at 8:25. And even though that information will become available eventually, if you have a question that you want us to ask Jeff, we can do that. Just text in on the Sissy's Log Cabin text line at 901-360-8255. But it's finally going to get started.
Yeah, certainly it's great to see that it actually gets started. It's a little unfortunate that it affects two football seasons, but it is what it is. The redesign, especially when the Phase 3 stuff, which includes the changing of the tunnel to allow basically the fact that you could hold concerts there.
Have the semis be able to get in there.
So
right.
things like that. It just, it looks really, really nice, and it's great to see. And I think that Party Plaza thing will be an immensely popular place for Tiger football games.
I'm not sure who wrote about Fred Jones' reaction. Of course, the president, the owner of Southern Heritage Classic, and a great Memphian. I may have been Jonah Dillon who wrote about it, but I'm not 100% sure. I read this yesterday, and I wrote down some notes here that Fred said, renovations to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium will have a significant impact on his game. Financially, it's going to be a big hit. Meaning bad, not, hey, it's a hit, baby. No, they're going to take a hit. Yes, they're going to. Now, I'm not sure if Steve Earhart or anybody from the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game have commented on that because they're in the same boat. It's certainly going to impact both those games for a couple of years. That's the unfortunate thing. But we're looking at renovations for the better. I hate to say puts Memphis in position to get to a bigger league. Who knows, right? Who knows? But you have to modernize that stadium. That stadium is still a real nice stadium. It has great sight lines, but you got to modernize the darn thing. And they're able to do that with the help of the state and with the help of Fred Jones and with the help of other people who are going to be giving their money to this project. But I feel bad for Fred, but it has to happen. It's going to affect seasons. You can't do this in one off season. You're not going to be able to do 3 phases in 5 months and not affect the game. So that's the unfortunate thing about that.
Again, I mean, the fact that it's affecting basically 2 years rather than 1, which was the original plan and hope, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, the bottom line is it needs to be done. It will be a drastically better stadium once these things are done. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a headache for everybody for 2 seasons, but then it's going to be a much better place that you have to call home.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of hoops they had to jump through to get this thing done. It wasn't as simple as just, hey, it's going to happen right after the game. I know that's what their plan was, but if they didn't know, they certainly found out very quickly that there's a lot of red tape and there's a lot of things you have to get approved before you can go ahead forward with a project as large as this is.
This weekend, well, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis Diamonds, they are hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event. That's right. Genesis Diamonds, which has massive selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, have a huge event going on this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. For this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And if that's not good enough, how about this? With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis is going to give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. Also, maybe you're not looking to buy a pre-owned Rolex. Maybe you're looking to sell or trade. Well, they're going to have their pre-owned Rolex buyers on site for this event as well, offering top dollar for your Rolex. You could buy, you could sell, you could trade, all at this event at Genesis Diamonds. Come see the largest selection of pre-owned Rolex watches in the state, take advantage of special financing, and get a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar, and Perkins Extended.
All right, so I don't forget to mention this since I teased it. Blake Snell has a new home. He has signed with the San Francisco Giants, 2 years, $62 million. Big pickup for the Giants. And from the NFL, the Saints, according to reports, have signed defensive end Chase Young, 1 year, $13 million deal. Young, who struggled after being the number 1 overall pick by Washington, went to San Francisco and actually was pretty good for the 49ers this past year after he was picked up in the trade with the Commanders. But he goes to the Saints, 1 year, $13 million. When we come back, hour 2, it's a busy one. We'll open with Humdinger's Trivia, then talk Cardinals with Katie Wu, followed by Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I am such a failure.
You're going to have to narrow that one down a bit.
As the spokesperson for Central Barbecue, I have failed to tell everyone about the new location in South Haven.
Technically, I'm the spokesperson for Central Barbecue.
Well, I haven't told anyone, but there's a new location in South Haven that's super convenient for the people living there. And I haven't told them that location is where all the Central Barbecue catering for North Mississippi comes from.
If we could get back to the Central Barbecue spokesperson thing, see, you have to do this because you work here.
Now I have no clue how I'm going to face the people of South Haven. I have besmirched the name Central Barbecue spokesperson.
Besmirched?
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. Hi, this is Devir Vanunu, Vice President at Genesis. I want to make sure your Rolex dream come true. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. These are carefully chosen timepieces in pristine condition. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings for free. That's a $4,000 value. Also, for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site, offering top dollar for your Rolex. So I invite you to join us this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. We're at Poplar and Perkins Extended. I can't wait to meet you.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. A couple of earlier wrecks still has traffic slow. 40 West trying to get past Germantown Parkway. Also, wreck from earlier, 240 West just past Sam Cooper. Had it slow go up through there. Hopefully that'll start to improve, but it did affect that traffic there on 40 West coming past Sycamore View Road, getting on that 240 flyover. Give yourself extra time out here this morning. You're definitely going to need it. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
34 degrees on the way up to 60 today. Sunshine. So a cold morning will turn into a very comfortable day. 44 tonight with clear skies. And then tomorrow we're looking at 73 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Should be an absolutely beautiful day today, and tomorrow even better. We welcome you back to Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Second hour of the program brought to you by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. I'm going to give you some more information on James Gaddis Jewelers a little bit later on in the hour. But it's Tuesday. It's time for Humdinger's Trivia.
That's right. Opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate to Humdingers, where, of course, on Tuesdays, it's Taco Tuesday with their chicken and fish tacos, just $2 each all day long. But if you're not looking for tacos, or maybe it's not Tuesday when you head on over there, So many great items on the menu to choose from their appetizers like the crab cakes or the humdinger shrimp or the crispy calamari, to their sandwiches like their po' boys, the crispy shrimp po' boy or the crispy catfish po' boy or the chicken Philly or any of the wraps that they've got as well. Of course, the grilled fish options that they have. So many great things on the menu. You can check out humdingersrestaurant.com to see the entire menu, get information on catering, check out their catering menus. All of that information is available on the website at humdingersrestaurant.com. If you haven't been there in a while, you need to go check it out. They've redone the place. They've changed the look a little bit, and they've added some new menu items as well that you could check out over at Humdingers at Poplar and Massey. If you are the first to answer our trivia question correctly, well, then you'll get that $25 gift certificate to Humdingers to go over there and check out some of that delicious food. You can answer via text on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. After I stumped everybody last week, I had to ask a second question. I made it a lot easier this week. This is where we're going to see how quickly you can recall fairly recent information. In last year's NCAA tournament, which double-digit seed advanced the furthest? I need the name of the school. In last year's NCAA tournament, which double-digit seed advanced the furthest? 901-360-8255. Text in those answers. First correct answer will get the $25 gift certificate to Humdingers.
Well, as I mentioned, the baseball season actually begins this week with the Dodgers and the Padres playing 2 in South Korea. But for the rest of the teams around the league, we got about 9 days until the start of the season. That includes the St. Louis Cardinals, who will open up against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we are very happy to be joined once again by Katie Wu, who does an amazing job covering the St. Louis Cardinals for The Athletic. You can follow Katie on Twitter at Katie J. Wu, and she joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hi, Katie.
What's up, guys? Good morning. How are you today?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We're getting into that baseball feel, and college baseball has obviously been going on for several weeks now, but baseball, major league variety is here, and you've been following this team, obviously, in spring training. Mike, my first question, the Ollie Marmol extension, it surprised me. Did it surprise you?
It did, and I had a feeling we were going to lead with this topic because it was certainly a topic of conversation over the weekend, but it did surprise me mainly because of where the team is at last year. Obviously, they're 71-91 in 2023, their worst season in 3 decades. Ollie Marmol's coming into 2024. It's the last year of his guaranteed contract, and it just seemed to me and to multiple people, both inside and outside the industry, that the Cardinals were going to see how the 2024 season went initially before making a true decision on Ollie Marmol. Now, obviously, that was not the case. With conversations I had with Ollie himself and Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, it seemed like the Cardinals were never going to really make a manager change. So once they got their roster finalized and they saw how the spring had gone, how the clubhouse had responded, Mo just seemed to feel like now is the time, let's ink Ollie up for the next 2 years and eliminate his managerial status as a distraction for the team going forward.
So is it, I guess, within the organization, and maybe even more importantly from the fan base, do people look at last year as just kind of a blip on the radar for an organization that has had, tremendous success year after year?
I think the organization looks at it that way. I think the fan base, and I can't speak for all of them, but the overwhelming concern that I see from fans is that 2023 is a sign of what's to come if the Cardinals don't make major changes. Now, that can be a ton of things, right? That can be fans rightfully overreacting. If they're fans, it's their job to be passionate about this. They could be onto something. We'll certainly see in 2024. But I think fans have a reasonable gripe. It's been a long time since the St. Louis Cardinals went and won a playoff series. And when the Cardinals say they're committed to fielding a competitive franchise, I think what's changed over the past decade is the organization's definition of competitive. So gone are the days where the Cardinals are fielding a World Series caliber team like the Dodgers or the Braves. Instead, they're fielding an NL Central competitive team. And maybe the expanded playoffs have something to do with it. There's a lot more up to chance with these expanded playoffs, and I'm not saying that the Cardinals won't be competitive this year. I think they will be, but there's a difference in being competitive in an NL Central division that isn't projected to be very good and being competitive in the postseason, and I think that's where fans get most of their frustration from.
That's a very interesting point, because there are certainly some fan bases out there that would just love to be competitive within their own division, and it's been forever. But with the Cardinals way, being competitive for World Series titles is usually the norm, and you're right, you hit it on the head. It hasn't been like that for a while. Katie Wu is joining us. She covers the Cardinals for The Athletic. Again, you can follow her on Twitter at KatieJWu. All right, so after last year's disappointment, they went out and they made moves. You knew they were going to make the moves, and certainly they addressed the pitching situation. Now, all of a sudden, Sonny Gray's hurt. What do you think about the acquisitions they made, the pitching staff going into the season? Miles Michaelis will pitch the opener, and the Sonny Gray injury. Where are they with pitching?
So I find it interesting because I think the biggest question the Cardinals had coming into 2023 was about their starting rotation. And now here we are, 12 months later, about to start 2024, and the biggest question about the St. Louis Cardinals is their starting rotation. So that's wonderful. I loved the Sonny Gray addition. I think he perfectly fit what they were looking for. I think he's an ace. He certainly has the caliber of one. The hamstring strain that he suffered over the last 2 weeks, that's unfortunate. But the Cardinals do believe there is a chance, while he won't pitch opening day, that he can avoid an IL stint and possibly pitch either in their second series against San Diego or the home opener. So that is good news considered. As far as the rotation overall, I think you're relying on a lot of things to go right. And as we know, over the course of a 6-month season, things go wrong more often than they go right. I understand the need to go out and find innings. The Cardinals were plagued early on in April and May by a lack of quality starts. I think by the end of April, they had 4 quality starts total from their pitching staff, and 3 were from Jordan Montgomery. So this was a team that could not pitch late into games. I mean, if you got into the 5th inning, it was considered a win. So by going out and getting Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn, guys that know how to get to the 6th or the 7th inning, you address the need. However, there's a difference between innings and innings of quality, and that will be the biggest question for Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, Miles Michaelis, and then whoever ends up taking maybe the 5th start in Gray's very short absence. The Cardinals needed to find a way to bridge the gap between their rotation and their bullpen. I do think their bullpen is probably a little bit better than people might expect, even with the Keenan Middleton forearm strain. But again, your bullpen only works if you have the rotation that can bridge you there. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals think they do. Now it's just a matter of question of what kind of innings are they going to get from that starting 5.
Yeah, and I guess I would, because none of those guys are exactly spring chickens. I mean, this is an old rotation that's got to be concerning. This is an old rotation,
correct.
I mean, and then you look at your 2 best offensive players, in Goldschmidt and Arenado, who are starting to get up there and had down years last year. So I guess, is the overall age of this team a big concern?
I actually think the organization felt like the age in the opposite direction was the concern. They wanted more veterans. They wanted a proven clubhouse. That's why part of the reason why they got Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. It's definitely the reason they brought in Matt Carpenter and Brandon Crawford. So I don't know if it's necessarily age being a concern. I think the Cardinals wanted to alleviate a lot of the pressure off the young guys, like the Jordan Walkers, the Mason Wynns, Lars Nootbaar, Brendan Donovan, because those 4 guys, Nolan Gorman, that core is going to be instrumental to the club going forward. But to have a good core of young guys, you have to have a good core of older guys to lead them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why a lot of their signings came on the higher end of the age scale, because they wanted to fortify their roster with experience so that they can guide their younger players who are going to ultimately one day represent the face of this club, and kind of teach them the Cardinal way, if you will, after what was a just terrible, disastrous season last year.
One more question about pitching, and I don't know if this is just somebody throwing it out there or maybe there's some substance to it, that maybe they're not done and they could add. I saw the name Mike Clevenger. Is there a possibility that the Cardinals could add to this rotation?
No, I don't think so. I think John Mozeliak has been pretty candid in them being done with the rotation dating back to February. Even with Sonny Gray's hamstring strain, when they didn't have a lot of information, Mo went out and said he didn't think that exploring externally would be required at this time. You can take that one of 2 ways. It would mean that, 1, they didn't think Sonny Gray was going to be out too long, and that is, knock on wood, trending in the right direction for the Cardinals. or two, that he feels confident in the Matthew Liberatore and Zach Thompson tandem that they have kind of on the brink of being in the rotation or as AAA depth. So I don't see the Cardinals pursuing the starting pitching market anymore. Obviously, things could change that if, God forbid, another injury happens. But right now, I think they're pretty set with their 6 guys.
Last year, opinion changed, I guess, a lot on Wilson Contreras and whether he was good or could be behind the plate or not. What is the feeling on Contreras going into this year?
I'm glad you asked, because I think Wilson Contreras is completely different already in his second year. He is much more confident, much more assured. I joke with him that he's like the dad of the catchers, because every time I see him, he has a younger catcher kind of near his locker under his arm or talking, and he just seems to be a lot more sure of his place in the organization. I think a lot of that is just coming off the first year that honestly spiraled horribly for Wilson, fairly or not. He had to deal with a lot of controversy there. But I also think Wilson went into the offseason and he revamped a lot of what the Cardinals were hoping he would. So he ditched the traditional stance behind the plate. He's gone down to the one knee, because the biggest problem with Wilson last year from a framing standpoint, we know this about Contreras, he's not the best framer, but he was consistently not getting the low strikes called in the zone because his framing would indicate that those pitches were balls. So by switching to the one knee down approach, his framing on balls in the lower half of the strike zone has already dramatically improved to the point where pitchers are saying something about it. He looks much more confident behind the plate. You know Contreras is going to hit. And I'm pretty confident, and I think the Cardinals are too, in the changes he made over the offseason so he can continue being a better defensive catcher. He was always going to be a bat-first catcher, but these improvements that I've seen, I think we'll see them pay off in the box score, definitely.
Well, speaking of catchers, the great Yadi Molina, he has a role within the organization, correct?
He does. He's a special assistant to John Mozeliak.
So there's a guy that certainly even a veteran like Contreras can lean on, that all these young catchers can lean on, I would think.
Sure. That would require Yadi or Molina to be at spring training. There were plans that he would be here. It doesn't look like that is going to be the case. They're running out of days here. The Cardinals are in Florida for about 5 more days. Yadi's job title is pretty fluid, so he could come to St. Louis, and I think the Cardinals are expecting him to do that. But no, it doesn't look like he'll be making it to spring training this year.
Interesting.
Is Mason Wynn going to be the guy at shortstop?
He is. He's going to be their opening day shortstop, 21 years old, dynamic defensive player. Bat has always come along second, but the plus to having such a bad season last year was the Cardinals were able to promote Mason a little early, so he has 2 months under his belt of trying to adjust to Major League pitching. One look at his stat line will tell you it didn't really go that well, but I think that was actually very important for Mason to experience last year, because now he can come into 2024 kind of adapt to the major leagues, that lifestyle, that type of pitching. The defense, again, there's no question. It's now just a matter of he can hit. That's part of the reason the Cardinals brought in Brandon Crawford, is to kind of mentor him in that regard. But, yeah, the door's open for Mason Wynn. He'll be starting shortstop at Dodger Stadium on opening day. And Cardinals are pretty confident that he'll be able to figure out offensively as well.
Katie Wu is joining us from The Athletic, covers the St. Louis Cardinals. You can follow her on Twitter at Katie J. Wu. All right, Tommy Edman, what's the situation with him?
Tommy Edman is not starting the season with St. Louis. He'll start the year on the injured list. He's dealing with continuous setbacks from a right wrist surgery he had in October. And a big question I get is, why didn't Tommy get this season or the surgery earlier? Like Brendan Donovan, for example, missed the second half of last season. Now he's good to go for spring training. Well, the answer to that is that the recovery time for Tommy's surgery was 6 to 8 weeks. So there was no need for him to get surgery in August or September. He got it in October in the first weeks of the offseason. He was supposed to be ready to go for spring training. There was some sort of question of if he'd be cleared for the first few games of spring, but he was firmly expected to participate in most of spring and definitely be cleared for opening day. But he has had setback after setback in terms of this reoccurring right wrist inflammation and pain. And the only way to solve that at this point is to shut him down completely and revamp him back up after the next week or so. It's been really frustrating for Tommy because he was under the impression that he would feel better. This wrist has been plaguing him for 18 months. Definitely impacted his 2023 season. So he was under the implication that by getting the surgery, he'd feel better. He'd be cleared to play for opening day, and it has just snowballed with setback after setback. And unfortunately, that's just the nature of wrist injuries sometimes and wrist surgeries, but certainly disappointing because the Cardinals were planning on Tommy to be their starting center fielder for opening day, and now they'll be without him for the foreseeable future.
We got a Cardinal fan who texted in and wanted us to ask you if we'll see Victor Scott before midseason.
Ooh, before midseason, that's a good question. I think that depends on variables. So, one, it will depend on just how long Tommy Edman is out. It will depend on if Lars Nootbaar can stay healthy. He's dealing with 2 rib fractures, still not sure if he's going to be ready for opening day. And it will depend on if Dylan Carlson can hit. So, Dylan Carlson is most likely going to be the opening day center fielder now in place of Tommy Edman. There's no question defensively. You're sensing a pattern here. Not a lot of questions about this team's defense. But there is a question if he can hit more consistently, especially from the left side. If Tommy is out for the Cardinals, again, don't really have a timeline for him, but if Tommy's out for a significant amount of time and Dylan can't hit consistently, then I think the Cardinals will start mulling over the idea of a Victor Scott promotion. That dude's had a heck of a spring. He's a dynamic player. He impacts the game just by standing on first base. I think we'll see him in 2024. It's just a matter of when. Mm-hmm. But certainly if the Cardinals get off to a shaky start and they need to solidify center field, I could see them calling on Victor Scott. I just don't think it would be for opening day.
You have the perennial all-stars in Goldschmidt and Arenado. Obviously, they're getting a little long in the tooth. When you look at the future of the guys that are on the roster now, when you look at a Jordan Walker, when you look at Carlson, Mason Wynn, do you see all-stars?
Good question. I would see it of that group, Jordan Walker, from a hit side. I think Jordan was put in a tough position to succeed last year. Learning to play outfield at the major league level is not necessarily the best plan for player development, but I cannot say more about how Jordan handled that situation, how professional he was. It's tough out there when you're getting ball hit after you over and over, and you can't field it. And the more you make a mistake, the more you think you're going to make a mistake, and you can snowball from there. So I think these young guys, whether it's Jordan Walker, Mason Wynn, Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, have a chance to, for sure. It's just a matter of can they piece together their game consistently. Right now, I think this roster has a lot of questions. I also think it has a lot of upside. It, again, just comes down to can the Cardinals execute when it matters.
She is Katie Woo. She covers the Cardinals for The Athletic. You can follow her on Twitter at KatieJWoo. We really appreciate it, Katie. Hopefully we get to do it again. Love having you on the program. Thanks so much.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Well, we do have a correct answer in our Humdingers trivia. Boy, some people forget. St. Peter's was 2 years ago, folks. St. Peter's was not last year. A lot of people coming with St. Peter's.
Time does fly, my friend, though.
So you're St. Peter's, you're a year off. You're a year off on that one. The double-digit seed that advanced the farthest last year was a 15 seed that made it to the Sweet 16. And that would be, and led by former Grizzly, by the way, that would be Princeton and Tosan Ebowam. I think I said that right. Something like that.
God bless you.
Who was on that team last year. But Princeton into the Sweet 16 last year as a 15 seed after knocking off Arizona in the opening round. They were the double-digit seed that advanced the farthest. We did have a few people who got the answer correct, but there was one that was faster on the trigger than everybody else, so we do not need a tiebreaker. We will be notifying our winner and letting you know how to get your prize, $25 gift certificate to Humdingers.
Yeah, I remember that one well because Princeton crushed my pool, my office pool, because of Arizona. I had Arizona in the Final Four, and they took them out like dogs. All right, when we come back, Jeff Crane from the University of Memphis. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We Gossett $289 a month. Both $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month. $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, $39.85, MSRP $22,320. Sportage R724, $76.40, MSRP $29,635. Telluride RG $49.9963, MSRP $41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Best finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on a license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Is your home screaming for an upgrade? Listen closely, because Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is about to make your day. First up, say goodbye to cold showers and hello to endless hot water with our tankless water heater upgrade. Not only does it save space and energy, but it also keeps the hot water flowing exactly when you need it. And here's the kicker. Switch from your old tank to a sleek, efficient tankless water heater now, and Choate's will hand you a $500 credit. Yep, you heard that right. $500 back in your pocket. But wait, there's more. Clogged drains are a hassle no homeowner wants to deal with. With Choate's special offer, get your drains cleared for just $93, or it's absolutely free. That's our guarantee to make it drain, or you don't pay a dime. So why wait? Call Choate's today at 347-8086 or visit us online at ChoatesHVAC.com. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning siding, and mule hide dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value.
MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with
MetroBuildersMemphis.com.
Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been a busy one out here as they clean up that earlier crash on 240 westbound, just past Sam Cooper. Hopefully you can get that out of there because it's really clogging up that traffic even more so. On 40 west, trying to get past Sycamore View Road onto that 240 flyover. It's been really busy in the Midtown area. We've had several accidents. A lot of this traffic could also be a result of the 55 bridge that remains closed. Again, it can get pretty crazy at times out here on 240 in the Midtown area. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64, is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 8:30 the time, hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings. We were talking not long ago about the stadium renovation at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Gave you some of the details, but with more details, more information, how it's all going to happen. The one and only Jeff Crane.
It's time to talk Memphis Tigers athletics. Joining Greg and Eli is University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director Jeff Crane. Here's Jeff with Greg and Eli.
He is Jeff Crane, University of Memphis Deputy Athletics Director. You can follow him on Twitter at jcrane75. Listen to him each and every week talking with us here on Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, guys.
Well, you told us last week to expect something this week, and we start the week off with the news of the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium renovations, I guess Plan 2, but now the phases all mapped out for everybody, timetables and things of that nature. So I'm sure finally you guys feel really, really good because it's been an exhaustive process.
Yeah, I mean, we've made significant progress over the last, I would say, probably 4 or 5 months, but keeping in mind that we've been working on this in partnership with the city for about 2 years. So it's been a long time in the making, but the last several months really honing in on what we think is best for the university in terms of the overall renovation, and feel like we've landed in a good spot. We've made good progress on the fundraising side, and felt that it was time to press go, at least on that phase 1. I'm excited to take the next steps of phase 2 in the coming months.
When the original game plan came out, the specs, the renderings, and even the timetable, which was after the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game wrapped up this past December, and it ends up being 4 months or so beyond that. Did you guys anticipate that there would be this many hoops to have to jump through and all the stuff that had to be done behind closed doors?
Yeah, I think it was all for really good and positive reasons. But late fall, the opportunity to own the stadium came into focus, and it really kind of shifted the way we in the city were thinking about the project overall. And yes, it's been a lot of work by a lot of people to get to this point over the last several months, but this is a long view. This is something this is something that's going to serve our university for decades to come, and so in the end, it's worth it. Although it may be slightly later than we had hoped in terms of getting started. In the end, the end product is going to be terrific and going to completely change the experience that fans have when they come to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
We have talked with you many times in the past about fans and today, especially younger fans, wanting more areas to kind of congregate to watch games rather than sit in seats and all of that. And I think this Party Plaza area is amazing. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be immensely popular. What kind of led to that, and to basically using, putting something like that down one entire side of the stadium?
Yeah, it's certainly a unique approach. As we went through this process again over the last 3-4 months, that opportunity presented itself, and give our architects involved in this project, Populous, who's a nationally known firm and done a lot of work, as we kind of articulated what we wanted and needed. They came back to us with this concept that has been kind of tweaked along the way and ended up with what you see today. And we think it's just going to send a message to people when they turn on their TV and they see this significant party patio, and they see people out there having fun, and they see the vibrance and the energy that's around Memphis football, and that's what we were trying to create, and excited to see what it can do. It's really just kind of a foundation and a platform for phase 3, which will be the new seating deck. But the great thing is that party patio will remain, with much of it now being a covered party patio. So it's going to serve us well into the future, and we're really excited with what we can do with that space.
As yourself and Laird and other folks at the university over the last few years made trips around the country and looked at other stadiums and got with the architects and decided, to go in this direction, what places did you look at, and what places would you say that made an impact on you of which direction you wanted to go with the renovations of the stadium?
Yeah, it's a good question. And we visited, I would say, half a dozen stadiums over the last year and a half, and took things away from each of them. The party patio concept in the end zone at Arkansas, we saw a very similar idea that we really liked because of the flexibility it gives you to create spaces for general fans, but it could also, pieces of it could be, we could have cabanas out there that could be rented. I mean, there's so many opportunities there, and we saw that particular idea at Arkansas and really liked it. Some of our club spaces that we have developed with our architect came from Kansas State and Oklahoma State in particular, a couple places that we really liked, some of the things they did. So we got a good look at a number of places and brought those ideas to the table.
Got a text from a fan listener who says, or wanted to know, does this new format include more chair back seats than before?
As of right now, for that phase 3, that new seating deck, we've not gotten to that level of design yet to know that if we're going to add additional chair backs or not. I would suspect that we will. In this phase 2 design, all of the chair backs that, in fact, even in phase 1, all of the chair backs stay intact, so we don't lose any chair back seats. And certainly our goal is to enhance the overall experience. And so that's something we'll be looking at closely as we look into phase 3 to see how many additional seating opportunities, chair backs, et cetera, that we may be able to add.
The other question that they have, and I know other people have had, is about the general concourse area, concession stands, restrooms, all of that. What will be done in those areas?
Yes, we will be doing some touch-up work, if you will, in every one of our restrooms throughout the stadium, just kind of refreshing and changing out fixtures and lighting and those sorts of things. But then obviously on the west side, we'll get all new restrooms as a part of that west side renovation. We'll be adding restrooms, adding concessions, spaces. That's one of the real advantages to this party plaza is that we can put portable spaces out there, food truck type setups out on that space. also with the halo, the area immediately around the stadium, that will now become a part of the in-stadium experience. So the opportunity to add additional concessions in those areas, something that we're looking at very closely. So lots of opportunity to enhance the overall experience for all fans, which was something that was really important to us.
Yeah, I think that's a good point about the concourse, because I've always said with the stadium, it's amazing how much it's held up over these years, and the sight lines are still terrific. It looks really good when you're sitting in there and watch. But walking around that concourse, it's gloomy and doomy and dark, and it reminds me almost like like high school, like my old high school stadium where I'd go to games. That's I think a part where it really needs to be enhanced. But you're saying that it's going to be in phase 3, so you won't see that immediately?
You will see concourse enhancements in phase 2. So the only thing that'll be added in phase 3 is that seating deck itself. So the concourse changes will happen in phase 2. To your point, one of the things that we're doing on that west side is really opening that concourse up. So you would literally be able to stand at the gates of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and look straight into the stadium.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
Opening that up, bringing more light in, making it a much more seamless entry into the stadium, where you can literally see the field from the concourse itself. So much of that will be addressed in the phase 2 project.
That'll be great. And of course, people won't be around that area while this construction is going on until after everything's done, because that will be closed up for people. Everybody will be on the other side, correct?
That's correct, with the exception of the chairback seats. So the chairback seats there on the west side, we were able to preserve even during construction. That's something that was important to us as we embarked on this, and we've been working closely with our general contractors to make sure that fans will be able to safely get to those seats and around to other parts of the stadium as needed. But the chairbacks will remain throughout construction.
How many more, I guess, because this is the important part probably to you guys, premium seating options does this give you the ability to sell compared to what you have now?
Yeah, in phase 2, we will be adding 8 founder suites and 18 additional suites, and then adding about 132 loge-type seats and about 160 club seats. So it will increase our overall count in terms of premium seating by a couple hundred. But part of the strategy here is that we can see what the demand is for different seat types. And so when we go back and add the phase 3 in, we can determine what else do we need to add. Do we need to add more club seats? Do we need to add more loges? Do we need general seating? Gives us an opportunity to really see what the market will bear and build for that.
Will the team be moving to the other sideline?
Yeah, as of right now, we haven't really explored that conversation just yet. I think initially they'll stay right where they are. It could be something that's done over a period of time, but really haven't embarked on that conversation just yet.
As I read what was released from the school yesterday, you indicated that there would be a limit to probably somewhere in the between 30,000 and whatever, 35. I'm not sure what that number tops off at for capacity for the next couple of years. And then once everything is done, we're looking at probably around 50,000 for the capacity. So with the limitation on what it is for the next 2 years, that would certainly mean that for folks who want to get season tickets and want to go watch games, you better jump on it pretty early.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We do obviously we'll have limited supply. So the next couple of years, we're probably in that 30 to 35,000 range over the next couple of years while construction is going on. And so absolutely encourage people to jump in, because it'll also give them the first opportunity to buy in the renovated stadium for 2026. So the best way to secure your place in line for the renovated stadium is to buy season tickets in 24 and 25.
With the fact that 25 is going to be limited, will you look at switching the Arkansas series?
Yeah, that's something we've certainly been thinking about and talking about, and need to better understand from Arkansas's perspective what kind of flexibility they have. But we are starting to discuss that. But as you know, these schedules get set many years in advance, and so the opportunity to move some of those around become difficult and not likely. But it's certainly something that we'll explore.
You mentioned now with this game plan, there was some tweaking going on from the first. What is the major difference between what was in that first plan and what's in this plan? What's missing from that first plan that's not now in the second plan?
Yeah, good question. I think what we did was we prioritized the phases, if you will. For example, we need to make some upgrades, expand some of the spaces in our locker room. Our training room is very small, for example. That's something that we've adjusted to phase 3. Ultimately, we would like to be able to have large-scale events, concerts, etc., at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. In order to do that, we need to be able to put semi-trucks down to the field. And so to accommodate that, making adjustments to the tunnel spaces, etc., was something that we've moved to phase 3 that was in an earlier phase. So, I think in terms of the overall experience, fans are still going to see the original intent of what this was, but we've just adjusted some of those phases a bit.
So many more questions I have for you, but we are plumb out of time. We'll get to some of that next week and obviously catch up with everybody what's happening over at the University of Memphis when it comes to spring sports. But, Jeff, I know it's good news all around for the university, so congratulations on that. Thank you for all the input and your analysis of what we're going to see. We're looking forward to it. And, as always, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much, guys. Go Tigers, go. Thank you, Jeff.
Looking at Arkansas's schedule, that Memphis game in 2025 is the only road non-conference game they have. So if they were to flip that, they would have 4 home non-conference games. They're at Utah in 2026. I don't know that they would want to add another road non-conference game for that season. So
right.
That could be difficult to try and flip that. It'd be nice not to host Arkansas in a year where you're limited to 30,000 fans. The one game you're getting out of that series at home, only having a chance to put 30,000 fans. But yeah, schedule-wise, it might be difficult.
It'll be difficult, but they usually can get it done because there's still plenty of time, and hopefully Arkansas will cooperate and understand, the situation that they're in. They want, for a road game, they want as many fans as they can bring over to root for their team on the road. James Gaddis Jewelers, second-hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. They're your family's jeweler, located at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at GaddisJewelers.com. They're full-service jewelers. They have 2-bench jewelers ready to serve you daily. So whether it's a simple cleaning of your ring or your watch or your necklace, you have a knot in it, and you need to get that knot out. That's already happened a couple times. My wife's jewelry, they will take care of that for you. Resetting of a stone, refitting of your rings, or whatever the case may be, they can take care of that. All their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition out there, so they make sure there's a price point to suit everyone's budget. They are in the family business, right? They want to treat you like family. They want you to purchase your jewelry from them, so they're going to pull out all stops. You don't always get that at the big box stores. In fact, you probably never get it at the big box stores. So get on over there to the family-owned and operated James Gaddis Jewelers today for engagement rings, wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets, and all their other fine jewelry like watches, custom-made jewelry, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and so much more. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at GaddisJewelers.com. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap up Hour 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R7, 24,7640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49,9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on a license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, it's my man Jeff Allen bringing sweet deals from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
Hey, Randy, I've got a 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 41 mpg highway, and you can hit the road for just $219 a month.
That's awesome. What else you got?
2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 a month. Both 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. Or go big in a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $429 a month. 36-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, get peace of mind with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We're online 24/7, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Where are my basketball fans at? Present! Welcome to Fandom 101. The madness is upon us. When the biggest ballers in the land take the court, we need you loud, proud, and live cheering them on. The NCAA Division I men's basketball first and second rounds, March 22nd and 24th in Memphis. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVP tickets. Class dismissed.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. Final few minutes here in hour number 2. It's official as far as the numbers for Kalen DeBoer and his contract with Alabama. He's going to make $10.875 million per season. What was he making at Washington? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
Nearly $11 million per season. Wow. Congratulations to Seth Cox. He was named the American Conference Player of the Week for the Tigers baseball team. Hit .471 for the week, had 8 hits, 3 of them home runs, knocked in 12 runs for the week. Congratulations to Seth Cox. The Tigers play at Mississippi State on the road as a midweek game, and then back on the road this weekend for conference play. I'd mentioned earlier when we were talking Grizzlies to start the show off, losing last night in overtime, 121-111 to the Sacramento Kings, that Domantas Sabonis for the Kings had his 50th straight double-double. He had 25 points and 18 rebounds. There are only 3 players that have had 50 or more consecutive double-doubles in a single season. Actually, over the last 50 seasons. There's only 4 players that have had 50 straight double-doubles in the course of a season. Do you know the other 3? They're all big men. One is still, I think he's still active. The other one was a star in the 80s, and the other was a star in the 70s. Big men. Not the biggest of men, as you would think. It's not Wilt and Jabbar and all those guys. Any guess?
Kevin Love is one of them.
Is Kevin Love still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is he Miami, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's still playing, I guess.
Is he still? Okay. Kevin Love, 53 consecutive double-doubles from 2010 through 2011. He has had a long career.
Mm-hmm. I believe Moses Malone is one of them.
You are correct, sir. Exactly 50. That was from 78 to 79. Now, I said I know him more from the 80s, but obviously he started late in the 70s. I know him from the years with the 76ers and their championship year, right? Was Moses Malone. And then there's another one. This guy's more synonymous with the 70s. Hall of Famer. Played in the North Atlantic area of the country. Atlantic region. If you get this one, you're already 2 for 2, man, which has impressed me.
I don't know this one.
Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes, 55 from 73 to, and when I say 73 to 74, I'm not talking about different seasons. I'm talking about the course of the season that started in 73, ended in the spring of 74. 55 straight for Elvin Hayes. So Sabonis is in some rare company.
Oh, he's had an unbelievable. It's still can't understand how he wasn't an all-star, but makes no sense. But he is he's a triple-double machine, alone the double-doubles. Like he is an absolutely fantastic passer, unbelievable rebounder. I mean, it feels like he gets every rebound when he's out there. It's crazy how just every single rebound goes to him.
Would you rather have, moving forward, the Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. combo or Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox?
It's very close.
Close, isn't it?
Even though Sabonis is like there are certain things that he's limited in today's game that and on the defensive end. So it's close.
Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren. I would imagine you go SGA, Holmgren over either one of those.
Yeah, I would probably go with that combination. Yeah, I mean, just with what Holmgren has done, he's a, I thought he would be good, but he's better than I thought. Like he is good. He's more athletic than I thought he was, and so and obviously SGA is incredible.
It still amazes me though that Jaren Jackson Jr. had 2 rebounds last night in 39 minutes. Sabonis had 18 rebounds. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s had games where he's done a pretty good job rebounding. He's been better, but he still lacks that ability to get you double-doubles on a game-by-game basis because he's going through games where he's had 2, 3, 4 rebounds. And that's why I still believe they got to go out and you got to get a legitimate center who does all the dirty work and have Jaren play alongside him. All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, hour number 3, we open up talking with the former Memphis Tiger head coach, Josh Pastner. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Hi, it's The Herd. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. A lot of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? If time was unlimited, how would you use it? The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. Therapy can help you find what matters to you. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/succeed. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Entirely online, flexible, designed to be convenient, and of course suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. Switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/succeed to get a 10% discount off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/succeed. Do it today. BetterHelp.com/succeed.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. That earlier crash on 240 westbound just past Sam Cooper has really done a number on that traffic flow over here as it tries to recover on 40 west coming past Sycamore View Road. It's been wild this morning in the Midtown area, both north and south on 240, where we had several different accidents. Plus, you got to take in consideration that the 55 bridge is still closed. That's going to put a lot more pressure on the traffic trying to get up through the Midtown area on 240 north and southbound. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:04 the time. Hour number 3 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy. Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their spring sales going on now, going on strong. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 34 degrees, but it's going to get up to 60, so it'll feel more like spring today with sunshine. Then tomorrow, we're looking at a high in the 70s, the low 70s, with mostly sunny skies, so take advantage of what should be beautiful couple days weather-wise. Well, as promised, it is time to talk NCAA tournament. We do so with now the star of ESPN. He is doing an amazing job as an analyst, but you know him, of course, as the former Memphis Tiger, Georgia Tech head coach. He is Coach Josh Pastner, who joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. You can follow Coach on Twitter at Coach J. Pastner. Hey, Josh.
How you doing, Greg, Eli? Everyone doing okay?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for coming on, Josh. I'm telling you, you are doing a great job. And you don't age for some reason. I don't know what the secret is. With all those years coaching, I don't know how you have all your hair, it's still black, and you still look so youthful.
Well, a couple things on that. Number one is makeup helps. There's no doubt on that. They put makeup. Two is when you're doing television, at least for me, there was no stress. There's stress, there's stress of you still got to be prepared, but you don't have the stress of the winning and losing that you're taking on you in every possession. So what happens there is you don't end up, carrying it with you all the time. And then third, I don't have Eli criticizing me while I'm coaching. So I'm okay. So there was no issue with this. So I feel a little good right now, that I'm giving you a hard time. So.
Do you enjoy the TV?
You know what? I really have enjoyed it. It's been great. You know what's interesting, guys, is look, I was at a high level. You think about it. I mean, I was at Arizona as a player, as an assistant at Memphis, the head coach at Memphis, the head coach at Georgia Tech. I mean, I've been at a very high level of being in basketball, and so being able to be then on ESPN and even with NBC and the Big Ten basketball, like I've been able to stay at a high level, if that makes sense, and meaning that it's I've enjoyed it. I've thoroughly have enjoyed it. Yes, I love coaching. There's many things I miss about coaching, but I've been able to be at a very high level on the television side of college basketball that I've been able to maintain in that just that vicinity of that. So I've enjoyed that, and that has allowed me to just kind of stay around it and be heavily involved with it, and so I've enjoyed it. There's many great things about it, and but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's like a year of sabbatical, if that makes sense. You can see things. You think back on things that what I would do differently, things I felt I did well if I were to get another opportunity. But it's been a really enjoyable time period to be able to do it. And for Greg, Eli, both you guys, I've always had great respect for the media, but I have a whole nother level of respect, and to be able to do that there's a lot of preparation, knowing that. Got to know all the sports for you, like you guys knowing all the sports. You got to know all the names. Obviously, can focus just on college basketball, but so I've really enjoyed it. It's been a fun time.
Well, speaking of other opportunities, there are jobs out there now. I'm not sure if you want to get back into the mix for any of these jobs this year. You want to wait. But coaches coach, and I've seen so many guys that have gone on the networks as analysts and have done a great job, have gotten that opportunity to coach again, and they jumped at it. There's some that haven't, like Greenberg's been there forever. How are the kids? How are the kids? By the way, I hear them in the background.
Yeah, I got a bunch of kids at my. That's one thing that hasn't stopped. I've continued to have kids. That's for certain. So
how many kids you have now?
I've got 4 at the house. 13, 11, 8, and 2. So that's my 2-year-old in the back.
What worries me when you say 4 at the house, like it means like what you got?
No.
Else?
I'm just saying that. No. That's just saying that age group.
Wow, that's
13, 11, 8, 2. I'm in the mix of that. But to your point, you're right. Seth Greenberg does a great job. Has been there a long time. He's had chances of opportunities of head jobs, and he's turned them down because he's wanted to stay in TV. Fran Fraschilla, who does a lot of the work with the Big 12, has had chances to do head coach. But after a certain amount of years, once you say no, you're probably moving out of that direction.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
So he's had some opportunities. Now, look, a guy like Steve Lavin was out for 7 years, and he just recently, 2 years ago, went back to the University of San Diego. He was in the media. So, yes, look, Tom Crean, I was with Tom Crean, and he wants to get back in, but he's been out 2 years. He wants to get back in. But, again, sometimes things happen. The longer you stay out, it's the harder to get back in. Now, being in television, you stay visible and in front of people. But, you also want when you're in those TV jobs, they're hard to get to. And if you leave it, you want to make sure if you're going to leave it, you're going to leave it for the right opportunity. Now, yes, is there more financially upside being a head coach probably than television? Unless maybe there's certain guys might have opportunities to make certain levels. But the reality of it is, you want to leave it, so you take out the money aspect of it. It's really comes down to do you the enjoyment part of it, and if you are going to take a job, you want to make sure you have a chance to win. Because Eli, Greg, what I would tell you is, been at Memphis, been at Georgia Tech, it's important. You want to get to a spot, your next spot, and you're not going to be picking. You're not going to have your pick of the litter of everything in a sense. You're going to make sure that the next spot that you go to, if that's what I want to do, you give yourself the best chance to win. Because you don't have that many opportunities after that, if that makes sense. And so, and if you are going to leave TV, here I am having an opportunity to be in the studio with ESPN, calling games, being part of Big Ten basketball. I mean, that's because I can tell you the second if I left that, people would be, doing everything they can to take that spot, if that makes sense, on the television side. So you want to make sure if you're leaving that, it's because those things are hard to get to, and I've learned that. I don't think people realize just as hard to get a head job, it's hard to get on television in some of those areas that I just mentioned, to be with the ESPN or even with, doing things with the Big Ten. There's only so few spots and in sort of those things, and that makes it tough. It's not an easy deal.
Now you certainly you're not one of the old guys, so you're kind of bridging that generation of these coaches. So do you have concerns about where we are in college basketball with the portal, with NIL and everything else that looks like it's driven some of the old guard out of the game?
Eli, you can't use NIL. It's just pay to play. It's strictly pay to play. And I say that with all seriousness. I mean, here's what happened. The name, image, likeness was supposed to be about people like Caitlin Clark, the outstanding women's basketball player for Iowa. She can sell a product, meaning that because of her, the people that watch her, you could put her on a commercial and everyone knows who she is, and she could, realistically endorse a product, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
And that's what name, image, likeness was supposed to be about. If the ninth man on the team was able to be, had a YouTube channel, and did some, funny things. That's what name, image, and likeness is supposed to be about. You could profit off of that, where in the years past you weren't able to. Or if a guy on the Memphis basketball program and the best player had a great game, and then that night wanted to go to, a certain restaurant, technically that restaurant could give him a free meal because, people were excited, and he could just put it on his Twitter or Instagram, and that's what name, image, likeness was supposed to be about. It wasn't supposed to be through recruiting, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And that's what it's gotten to, guys. That's what it's gotten to. It's strictly gotten to how much money do you have to pay the recruits, or to pay your current guys not to leave if you think they're good enough. And that's really what it's gotten to. And I think the avenue that it will go to, And that's why you saw guys like Jay Wright, you see like Nick Saban. I think you'll see more guys this offseason end up possibly leaving that you're not even expecting it. I think it's going to get to the only way for it to make it work, for there to be some level of playing field, is that it needs to be in-house. The payment needs to be in-house, or needs to almost be like a salary cap based on each conference saying we're going to live in this world, and or the guys become employees. They become employees, and that way there's no, you're under contract. You can't be transferring all the different times. You're like, I don't mind the transfer deal. I really don't mind it. I don't think there's that's not an issue to me. Like, if a guy doesn't want to be, like, that's just part of the deal. The transfer, it's the constant year in, year out trying to create your leverage, which there's nothing wrong with having leverage. I mean, that's part of that's what's living in this country. You can have things within business. It's more that there's got to be some parameters with it, in a sense that if you are going to pay someone something, usually when you do pay somebody, there's a contract stipulated on that. And so that should not be excluded from the student athletes either, if that makes sense.
So would you have an issue of them unionizing if they become employees?
No issue. And in fact, I think it'd be, you know what? You know why that'd be that way? But here's what I would always say. There's different things with that. Now, I got no problem with that. And if they want to become employees, but however, now, if you're under contract, but if you are not good enough, just like if a coach isn't, you can get fired. You know what I mean? You can lose your opportunity. You can, if you commit just like in a coaching contract, if you don't do something proper, you can get fired without pay. I mean, that's with any contract. So there are unintended consequences, as you guys know, when there becomes an employee. Yes, you could. If you're late to class, I don't know how all this works. I'm not an expert in this in the labor laws, but technically, if they're late to class, late to practice, could you fine them? I mean, instead of, is that part of the deal? I mean, how would all that stuff work? Because that's sort of like with the Players Association in the NBA. You don't, when an NBA guy's late somewhere, you don't run them and put him on the line and make him do a mile run. No, you take money out of his paycheck. That's just part of the deal. So there's all those type of things. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I don't think right now there's got to be some change to have it somewhat of a, some guardrails, and I think you both would agree to that.
But absolutely, but it is no question. It is not a deterrent for you to want to get back into coaching with the way
it's not a deterrent, no, because, and I think if you're gonna, you either got to accept it, and this is the way it is now. And if you're going to try to complain about it, it's just not going to work, because it's impossible. I mean, you can't. It's here to stay for right now. My thing is, the deterrent would be, you can't. There's not going to be unlimited NIL for every school, and so I still think there's a tremendous amount of players out there that you can find. I mean, what mind-boggling to me is 99.9% of these guys are never playing in the NBA. Like, through all this, the entire educational piece has got totally lost in its whole deal. It's not even discussed, and I don't get that. What would be more deterrent for me to go back in would be, hey man, you're in a great spot. You're on television. You're covering high-level college basketball. And you work, you travel a lot for 4 months, and then you're home for 7 months, basically.
Right.
And so that's the difference. Yes, financially there might be different pay when you're a head coach, but having a lot of time off is not bad either. That's probably why I'm in better shape now than I've ever been, is because of that. I mean, literally just because of having those freedom to do that.
Josh Pastner joining us on the program, former Tigers and Georgia Tech head coach, now with ESPN. He's a terrific analyst. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach J. Pastner. Okay, so it has been rough. 10 years going back to your final couple, Tubby Smith's 2, and now 6 with Penny Hardaway. 10 years, couple of appearances in the NCAA tournament, 1 NCAA tournament win in the last decade for Memphis basketball. I know you keep an eye on what's going on. Obviously, you're a busy man, but what has happened, you think, with Memphis basketball? What's the perception around the country of Memphis basketball? And Do we believe we're better than what we are?
Well, let me just say this. Towards the end of my last, 2 years there at Memphis, we year 6 of mine after, we went to 4 straight tournaments. So, year 1, I took over. We went to the NIT, then 4 straight tournaments. So that's through year 5. Year 6, I thought, we lost a lot. I mean, we just completely lost a lot. And we were up and down that year. And then year 7, there was no question that losing Austin Nichols late in the summer like we did going into year 7 was a tremendous blow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I lost him, my daughter was born. I was sitting there in the hospital with my daughter born, and I was trying to keep Austin, and it was late June, early July, and so if we had Austin in that year 7, we ended up making the championship game in the conference tournament. We played UConn that year, lost, but if we had won, obviously we'd been in the tournament. But we were young, and losing Austin was a big blow. However, I sometimes think that if I had stayed year 8, because we had everyone back, we had Charlie Moore coming in, you had Jeremiah Martin, Markel Crawford. We had a couple other guys I had on the hook that were going to come, and I don't know how good. I thought we could have had a chance to be really good in year 8, but and then I went to Georgia Tech.
But do you think you should have been? Do you think they should have? I know it was your decision to go to Georgia Tech, but do you think you should have been retained at Memphis?
Well, no. Well, I mean, I know there was a lot of speculation, but absolutely, I thought, and the criticism wasn't unjust or unfair. I mean, I get it. When I took over John Calipari, we got hurt in some things with seeding in some of those years. There's no doubt about it. Like that one year with Will Barton, those guys. I mean, we weren't an 8-9. I mean, we were really, really good. Like even the year when we won 31 games. I mean, they had us as a 6 seed. And we had to play Michigan and Detroit or Virginia and Charlotte, and we were just. I thought we didn't get appreciated in some of our seeding. If you looked at our numbers, more closely, I thought we got underseeded, but we didn't advance to the second weekend. So I understand the frustration on that. I felt we got dealt a big blow when Austin Nichols left that year 7. We just did because we were going to have a chance to be really good. I really believe that with Austin, and you had Dedrick Law. I mean, those two guys, we had the best front court, in all of college basketball, and we would have been really good. And then I felt we had some things moving in year 8 with who was coming in, and a couple of guys I was involved with that I thought we would have gotten. But then the Georgia Tech thing opened. I say all that to say this: that I thought we were. It is what it is. I didn't make it to the Sweet 16. That's the bottom line. I think if I had made a run or two to the Sweet 16, and I wish I could do it over again, because if I know what I knew now to move it back then, I think we would have gone to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. We would, even though we won a lot of games, we would have won more. And I say all that to say this: I think Penny's obviously has done a really good job. I mean, he's won a lot of games. He's recruited at a high, very level, but it's a hard job, and it's just the facts of it. And Penny has, it's Memphis, and Penny would tell you that the standard of Memphis basketball, because Penny helped build the standard of Memphis basketball back when he played there, is that the fans and the standard and the expectation is you're going to the tournament and you're going to making runs to the tournament. And that's what the fans expected of me, and we didn't get deep enough in the tournament, and that's what the fans expect of Penny, and he understands that. And so I think I think he's done a really good job. I just think that the fans, the standards, the expectations, which Penny helped build because of his ability to play there and what he's done, it's just at a higher level than a lot of places.
And you're not this type of person, so I know what your answer will be, but is there part of you that looks at it, and since they haven't been able to do it since you left, either says see, it's not that easy at Memphis?
Well, I look at it that it's not that easy. I think that I think it's different. It's different in the sense where, when I look back, I loved my time at Memphis, and I really wish, there's no regrets. It's I wish if I knew what I knew today and some things of coaching. I wish I implemented that when I was there at Memphis. It was such, because when I took over, as you both know, everything was so fast, and it was so fast, and you're just trying to survive. And but it's different. And Eli, it's not that the program's not a high level. I think it's a very high level program. I just think it's one of those things where it's the game that things have evolved and changed where because everyone's on television, because you can go to the NBA from any program now. You can win the national championship or go to the Final Four from any program. I mean, it's just things are different. I mean, look, Memphis last year should have beaten Florida Atlantic. That's the reality of it. I mean, and that's what happens. They had, and who knows if in Florida and Memphis, and they would have beaten the next game, and they would have gone to the Sweet 16. And now you and I, we're not having this conversation. That's just the kind of the luck of the draw. They had the game. They had a great opportunity. They could have beaten Florida Atlantic because they would have been a shoo-in for the Sweet 16. Those are just how the balls bounce. I mean, and that's how things move in March. And,
but we live in a bottom-line world.
And we live in a bottom-line world, and that's just the reality. It's the bottom line why people were frustrated with me is because I didn't make a Sweet 16 in those 4 years of the tournament, and Penny hasn't either, and that's what people want, and that's just the reality of it. I mean, and it's hard to do. And the 4 years of those last 4 years of what John Calipari's run before he left to Kentucky has never been duplicated. It won't be duplicated, and it's just that's what it is. And so if you look at it if you take out those 4 years of Coach Calipari's, maybe there's more of a understanding that there's going to be ups and downs, but that's 4 years and constantly being compared to that. And let me just say this: I think it's, and I know Memphis wants to get to a bigger conference. I think that would change probably things as well too if they had an opportunity. Because look at it, I think the American's a good league, but the reality of it is it's a one-bid league right now. They got lucky because UAB won the. But the reality of it is it's probably more of a one-bid league the majority of the time right now, especially with those teams leaving. So I think for Memphis, they're going to want to try to eventually get to a power conference to give them more opportunities within the conference, and then also more opportunities for teams to get in to the tournament.
They're trying. They've been trying an awful lot. Okay, so we're just about out of time, Josh. Need your 4 picks. Who's going to the Final Four?
I think it's going to be Purdue is going to be there. I think Houston will be there. I think Iowa State's going to beat UConn in the Elite Eight and will be there. And I think in the Elite Eight game on the West region, North Carolina, Arizona, they both have the easiest path to get to the Elite Eight. I think it's a toss-up between the two. And I do think Arizona will win that game, but I think in the championship, it's Iowa State versus Houston, and Houston wins the national championship.
Houston, national champion. How about that?
So getting revenge for that whooping they took in the Big 12 championship game.
Paybacks are hell.
Yeah, they did. They took it, but I love Iowa State. I just think Houston was tired. That happens. And I think what Kelvin Sampson's done to go from the American to the Big 12 with zero drop-off, and is incredible.
You'll be happy to know as well that Eli is an equal opportunity critic. He's gotten on Penny a lot as well, Josh.
No, I get it. And Eli's good. And listen, I love my time at Memphis, and I've said that it was a blast. I think, and again, I'm a big fan of Penny. I think Penny's done a really good job, and I'm telling you, Penny has the reason the program has been elevated to the expectations of either when I was coaching or why Penny's coaching. Part of it is because of what Penny did as a player. I mean, Penny helped build that to what that is, and so he becomes a victim of his own success in the sense of how he was as a player. And he's done a really good job in recruiting. I mean, he's been an incredible recruiter. He's won a lot of games, and just by the way the ball bounced last year, and by the way things happened in that game versus Florida Atlantic, I mean, if they win the game, they're in the Sweet 16, in the Elite Eight, and they have a real shot at going to the Final Four. But that is what makes March so great. It can be it's such the margin of error is literally zero that it can change or break careers like you can't believe in just literally in the snap of a finger.
Well, not everybody gets a second career, and I think one day you'll be coaching again, but your second career is off to a great start. Check him out at ESPN. He does an outstanding job as an analyst. Of course, former Memphis Tiger, Georgia Tech head basketball coach. He is Josh Pastner. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach J. Pastner. Josh, thank you so much. Hopefully we get to do it again here in the not-too-distant future.
I appreciate it, you both. Thanks, Eli. Thanks, Greg. Really appreciate it.
Take care. Josh. Well, I was going to say, but I didn't want to, he was on a roll there, but as an analyst, sometimes you got to be critical as well. And, he always looks for the positives, the half-full guy, right?
That is an understatement of all understatements.
But, you asked the question that I was just about to ask, and you said it perfectly. You knew how he was going to answer it. But I'm sure he's looking at it on the inside going, you guys were complaining about me when we went to 4 straight tournaments because we didn't get to the Sweet 16 because that's where the bar was. Well, now you're not getting to the Sweet 16, and you didn't even get to the tournament. You got one tournament win. So the bar hasn't been higher. It's been lowered because so the opposite of what Penny had said. So, again, I'm not saying that Josh, if he stayed on, has this team going to Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Fours, and I still have the confidence in Penny Hardaway. But now time is certainly adding up to where it has to be done here sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a bit of "I told you so" in anybody. It's just human nature. You would be a little bit of "I told you so"
right
in that.
Right.
But and as listen, Josh took over at the exact wrong time to take over any program. He took over after, as he said, a 4-year stretch that will never be duplicated at the University of Memphis.
Nope.
No, it's impossible virtually what Cal did. So Josh had a very tough thing. But my problem with Josh when he was here is the same problem I have with Penny. You can't take all the credit for all this great recruiting if you're not getting the results out of it.
Exactly. That's why I say it's a bottom line business.
If you're getting great recruiting class year after year after year, well, you got to get results out of that. And they don't get the results out of these great recruiting classes.
Well, you can't take credit for an almost win against Florida Atlantic and then a hypothetical you could have maybe went as far as they did. You can't do that.
Moving can be stressful, folks, but when you've got the professionals helping you, doing it for you, well, then it makes it a lot less stressful. And if you give Black Tie Moving a call, they'll take care of you and your belongings during the entire moving process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, talk to the folks at Black Tie Moving. Give them a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Talk with the folks at Black Tie. They're going to come up with a plan working with you to fit your needs and fit your budget. They'll give you no obligation quote up front as well. Throughout the moving process, you got a moving concierge available to answer any questions that might come up. They're always available to you. Don't try and do it yourself. Get the professionals. Black Tie Moving, 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
ESPN and the college football playoff are finalizing their new agreement. The numbers are staggering. We'll give you them when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Springtime is hot wing time and time for the ultimate hot wing showdown at the World Championship Hot Wing Contest and Festival. Be there Saturday, April 20th at Memphis River Garden Park on Riverside Drive. See over 60 teams fighting for hot wing supremacy, along with live blues, soul, and rock and roll. All in support of the Ronald McDonald House. It's a sizzling day of fiery flavors, live music, and family fun, and you're invited. It's hot wing time in Memphis. Get your tickets now at worldwingfest.com. This is your delicious chance to make a difference.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We gossip $289 a month. Both $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month. $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R7, 76.40, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49.9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wolo said hello. Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings. Morning! On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Now the financial part of the show. ESPN and the college football playoff, according to Ross Dellinger and others, as expected, are finalizing their agreement for a 6-year extension through 2031, paying, hold on to your hats, $1.3 billion on average annually. The formal announcement is expected later today. Wow. I was talking about Kalen DeBoer's contract, $10.875 million per season for a football coach. Well, you can understand that. The money that's being brought in, especially from the Power 5 schools, and in particular, the SEC and the Big Ten schools, because look at what we're talking about here. The college football playoff and the ESPN deal, $1.3 billion.
Again, the SEC and Big Ten schools are going to be cashing checks of like $100 million each year off their TV deals in the next few seasons. I mean, it is we like our like here in like 5 years ago. I don't know what it was like, but like I remember like the SEC teams would get like it got up to like $30 million a year, and I was like, oh my gosh, $30 million a year these schools are getting.
Right,
could be like $100 million every year that you're just getting a check for your TV contract. It's crazy. The amount of money they have.
By the way, Josh's idea about NIL wasn't crazy. I liked it. In fact, I gotta think more about it and the guardrails. But depending on the conferences, and that's understandable, having a certain amount of money that's allocated, and then basically have these student athletes become employees where they can unionize, they're taxed. I mean, that looks like the road we're going down anyway. But it was interesting what he had to say, that you got to find some regulations to haul this thing in because it is absolutely out of control. The wheels are off. But when you have this type of money, you know, players are looking at, man, what are you talking about here? These conferences are bringing in how much money, and then it's divvied up to these schools. So these schools are bringing in how much money? And we're not even talking about money that can be used, per se, for NIL. That comes from the collectives, who are also doing their job in bringing in millions and millions as well.
No, and what this does,
depending on the collectives,
what particularly the SEC and Big Ten, because of the more money, this is money. Because these schools have all been put in a position of when you're asking for money from your donors, well, you've got projects and things you want to do, but you also know that you have to have NIL money. So these bigger paychecks allow that money to be used for those projects where they could tell donors, hey, give your money to the NIL.
Right.
That's where your money, we need your money there. We'll take care of this other stuff. But because they're having to make these decisions about where do we want this money to go. And most believe that the NIL collectives is a more important place right now for that money to be rather than an upgrade of a facility or whatever. Now, again, with these schools, it just allows them to do it all because there's just continues to be more and more money on a yearly basis.
So tonight, 2 games, NCAA tournament. In the first 4 in Dayton, you have a battle of the 16 seeds, Wagner versus Howard, and then you have Colorado State and Virginia. Virginia, one of the ugliest teams, to put it bluntly, to watch in their style. Tony Bennett's a hell of a coach, but it's like watching paint dry. Colorado State's an interesting team. David Roddy's old team, the former Grizzly. I think Colorado State's going to win tonight. I just don't like Virginia. I don't think they deserve to be in the tournament. Memphis lambasted this team here in Memphis. And then tomorrow you have Grambling and Montana State, 2 16s, and then 2 more 10s in Colorado and Boise State. So it's going to be a busy 2 days in Dayton for teams from Colorado.
Yes, indeed.
Rocky Mountain High, moving east.
I'm not pretending to know a lot about Colorado State. I know Virginia is okay. They're certainly not great by any means. I know Tony Bennett screwed up the end of the North Carolina State game, and if they had missed the NCAA tournament because of that loss, he would have. That would have been a really, really big mistake that they made, not fouling at the end of that game when they had like 3 fouls to give. But I don't know. It's in the end, it always with Virginia comes down to a game of style, and if you're Colorado State, can you get out of their style or handle that style if it does play that at that pace? And I still, in the end, kind of trust Virginia in these types of games against a team like Colorado State.
Very similar records. Colorado State 24-10, Virginia 23-10. Colorado State is a 2.5-point favorite over Virginia. In the other game, Howard is a 3.5-point favorite over Wagner. Our friend Trey Wallace wrote an interesting story about the SEC championship, Auburn winning, and something that I've always said, and we'll have Jerry Palm on tomorrow and get his thoughts on things, but they don't take a lot into consideration what happens in the championship games for the tournament, for the conferences, especially if they wrap up on a Sunday. And he wrote about Auburn. He said, as Auburn found out, the NCAA Selection Committee doesn't care about conference tournament title games. So move it to Saturday. Here's the problem. They want the programming. They want the lead up into the tournament selection show. But I've always said that as well, and then I second-guess myself knowing that they have to have that programming. But it makes a lot more sense on Saturday because on Saturday they can take a lot more of that into consideration. Auburn winning the SEC championship, we know how strong the SEC was not given the right seed. There were other teams that were not given the right seeds. There were certain things that they weren't going to change. I made the point, and I could be wrong about this. Well, the American Conference was, as Josh Pastner said, was destined to be a one-bid league this year because obviously the Tigers in the end weren't there. They could have been, but they weren't. It became a 2 because of UAB's upset winning the conference tournament title. But they were playing Temple on Sunday. Temple was, what was their record? Like 8 games, 9 games under 500, whatever it was. And UAB was, I'm just saying this, 22-11, something in that neighborhood. Are they both the same seed line? Those teams, no, they shouldn't be. Well, I don't think they had 17 different scenarios.
They don't have to have 17. They have to have 2.
No, because
if Temple wins and if UAB wins.
But it affects other teams.
Here's our bracket. If Temple wins, here's our bracket. If UAB wins.
But you have to have several of those, don't you?
You have to have two. If Temple wins and if UAB wins. If two. There's two brackets.
Do you think that they really put that into consideration?
Yes. I don't know why people think they don't.
I just don't.
What do you think they're doing in there?
Well, his point about Auburn, again, being underseeded, winning on Sunday.
There's a lot of teams that people think were underseeded. They didn't play on Sunday. There's teams that people think were overseeded. They didn't play on Sunday. That's just the way they seeded it. You don't like the seeding. That doesn't mean anything.
I just don't think they have all these scenarios. I don't. But maybe they do. Maybe they do. Again, Jerry, he would agree with you. But to me, I don't know. But as far as having the games on Saturday, that's the way it should be. But it's never going to happen. Could you see it happening? I mean, if they probably don't want to move the selection show out of prime time. What time did it go on here? Actually, it was before prime time.
It goes on at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it was 5 o'clock. So couldn't you have it on 1 o'clock on Sunday? Have it earlier.
You could, but they don't want to move these things, and I don't think the conferences want to move them. I think they like the way it sets up.
Do you still think that there's impact from what happens on Sunday? As far as the selection,
I don't think there's a huge impact, but in the end, it's 1 out of 35 games, so it's not going to be. You're not going to have drastic changes. In the end, that is 1 out of 35 games on the resume. Just because it's a conference championship game doesn't make it any bigger. It's 1 of 35 games on a resume.
Yes, true, but shouldn't it be more impactful? When we're talking about the smaller conferences, a team that goes 31 games, wins their regular conference championship, now is not afforded the automatic trip to the NIT, gets screwed because they happen to have a bad game, a bad few minutes, an injury, foul trouble, and their whole season goes kaplunk, and they're not in the NCAA, nor are they in the NIT. So the importance of the conference tournament, it's extremely important to the smaller conferences. I would imagine it is to the bigger conferences as well. Now, there was no question that Florida was getting in, Auburn was getting in, no matter who lost that game, and the same for other conference championships as well. Although NC State, they had to win, right? They had to beat North Carolina to get in. So there's some that are more important in that sense, but I wonder just how much impact they have on the selection committee.
And the thing that hurt Auburn was the fact that the top 3 seeds got knocked out of the tournament. So their path to the tournament title didn't include some could have been potential great wins. They're solid wins. They're all against tournament teams, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Florida, but you didn't get to play Tennessee. You didn't get to possibly play a Kentucky and pick up bigger wins on your path to that title than what you got.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, if Florida had beaten Auburn, it would be a bigger win for Florida because Auburn was a better team. And it might have had a bigger impact on Florida's seeding than it would for Auburn beating Florida. I mean, so it just is what it is. I mean, I don't see why people think that the committee can't go, oh my gosh, we got 2 teams playing and come up with 2 brackets. Here's if this team wins and if this team wins. It's a very simple thing.
Yeah, but again, it's a big difference between UAB winning and Temple winning, how it affects putting together that next bracket. And then who knows on Saturday when Temple won to advance, oh, now we got to put this bracket together, and it affects a lot of seed lines. I don't know. But I guess that's what they're there for, to be able to do this for these scenarios.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are there for.
I think they're drinking beer and watching games, but anyway.
You need a tough, reliable tractor to tackle those tough chores. We'll talk to the folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment with the Case IH Farmall series of tractors, bush hog equipment, and much, much more that you'll find at Mid-South Ag Equipment. They have something for everyone. The Case IH Farmall series, well, that's versatile performers, perfect for whatever it is you need to get done. Great value as well. They've got new equipment. They've got pre-owned equipment. They could service equipment, all at Mid-South Ag Equipment, located just south of Collierville on Goodman Road. If you take I-269 to the Goodman Road exit, they're just a half mile west. Very easy to find, very easy easy to get to. The folks at Mid-South Ag Equipment. You can also find them online, midsouthag.com, the website where you can check out inventory, see special deals they've got going on, and get all the information you need on all the equipment at Mid-South Ag Equipment.
A couple of former Tigers, well, kind of, have hit the transfer portal. That news when we return to wrap it up. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hi, I'm Maddie Berner, an outfielder for the University of Memphis softball team. Trying to decide on a spring break vacation? Whether it's for a spring break vacation or a home renovation, apply today for a personal loan with Southern Security. Join Southern Security today and make your dreams a reality. Southern Security is a proud supporter of University of Memphis Athletics and 901 Women. Southern Security, your home team credit union.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R724, 7640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49.9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, it's my man Jeff Allen bringing sweet deals from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
Hey, Randy, I've got a 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 41 mpg highway, and you can hit the road for just $219 a month.
That's awesome. What else you got?
2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 a month. Both 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. Or go big in a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $429 a month. 36-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, get peace of mind with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We're online 24/7, KiaMountMoriah.com.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
Hello? Hey, little sis. Did you get your W-2 yet?
Yes, I did.
Well, you know last year when I told you to file early to get your refund quick?
Yes, I remember.
Well, go ahead and call now, and you can get your refund fast.
Thanks. That's why I love you. Always looking out for your little sis.
To get your taxes filed quick and get your refund fast, go to Brenton Tax Service, located in Midtown Memphis on Madison Avenue. We may not be related to you, but at Brenton Tax Service, we protect you like family.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is coming to Genesis Diamonds. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. These are carefully chosen timepieces in pristine condition. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a beautiful pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $4,000 value. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of our special financing and get a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. It's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Hopler and Perkins Extended. While supplies last, see store for details.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So former Memphis Tiger J.J. Taylor now officially in the transfer portal. His strange story, one of the many, many strange stories that was Memphis basketball 23-24. Now, if he's in the portal, where's Mikey Williams? Is there another category? Where would he be? Did they end up going to UCF? I remember the talk about that. Zach, did you ever find them on a roster? They weren't at UCF, right?
No, I didn't. I don't see their name.
I remember there was the talk about that, so I don't know, but Taylor's officially in the portal. Mikey Williams still has to do what the community, the things in the community to, obviously his charges were lessened from felony charges to misdemeanors, but he has to do community work and service and things of that nature. I'm not sure if that's done or not. Who knows what he's going to end up doing, but J.J. Taylor officially in the transfer portal.
This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis Diamonds is a huge Rolex event. That's right. They have with their great selection of pre-owned Rolex watches. Well, they've got a great deal for you. Coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They've got special pricing. They've got zero interest financing. And with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, they'll give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. That's a $4,000 value. Plus, at this event, they'll have their pre-owned Rolex buyers on site as well, offering top dollar for your Rolex. So not only can you buy, you could sell, or you may want to trade. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state. Take advantage of the special financing and possibly get a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Hey, I never asked you about what did you think of Tyron Smith going to the Jets?
Well, I knew he wasn't coming back to Dallas, so
1 year, $6.5 million guaranteed.
Cowboys got some issues on the offensive line, but they were, for whatever reason, never really wanting to bring him back. So it's going to be an interesting year in Dallas.
And a final story for you. I'm reading from the Daily Memphian and Sam Hardiman. The Shelby County and the hotel motel tax revenue, as obviously they're looking for additional revenue streams to pay for the renovations at FedEx Forum. And this is something that is being proposed in the Senate in Nashville to find additional funding to basically cap off what the Memphis tourism receives from the hotel motel tax from Shelby County, and then use the difference to go to fund what they need for additional revenue for FedEx Forum. So certainly that's a positive, I would think, as they want to get that thing nipped in the bud, get it all settled, move on, and then begin the renovations at FedEx Forum like they're about to begin in May at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
Last year, Netflix did the program Quarterbacks. They have announced this year it is actually called Receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be coming out soon. They have followed Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown this past season. So they will be the subjects of Receiver to be released soon on Netflix.
Everything Netflix does as far as sports is concerned is terrific. I mean, I love the PGA series, which just wrapped up its second year. Was it Full Swing? I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that this will be fantastic as well. Again, if you missed it from earlier, Blake Snell signs a 2-year, $62 million deal with the Giants. And from the NFL, Chase Young is going to play for the Saints, reportedly 1 year at $13 million. Want to thank Katie Wu, Jeff Crane, and Josh Pastner for joining us on the program today. Tomorrow, Jerry Palm will join us. We'll talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole. Our buddy Dave Sampson, the former president of the Marlins, will join us as we get ready for the start of the Major League Baseball season. I'm sure he'll have some thoughts on some other topics as well. Andy Borman
It'll be underway.
That's right. It'll be underway. And Andy Borman, not sure if he'll join us tomorrow. We hope he will. Memphis Tigers assistant basketball coach. Stay tuned. Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.
Don't stop believing. Street lights, people.
Where are my basketball fans at?
Present!
Welcome to Fandom 101. The madness is upon us. When the biggest ballers in the land take the court, we need you loud, proud, and live cheering them on. The NCAA Division I men's basketball first and second rounds, March 22nd and 24th in Memphis. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVP tickets. Class dismissed.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo on Saturday, March 30th, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We will take applications, perform basic testing, and interview candidates on site. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And with My Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers and earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rock and Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3's your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport, $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, but only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com. All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Do not combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26,063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25,506, Cross RC 23156,